Hi everybody, welcome back to the Friends Experience. I'm your host, Franz. You can follow us at www.thefranzexperience.life, where we believe you are definitely bumped on course. We are discussing Bumped, which is my book, which I'm a published author of, and this is in regards to recovering and going through post-concussion syndrome. When I talk about post-concussion syndrome, I'm talking about the injuries that occur off the field, off the basketball courts. I'm not talking about the sports. I'm talking about the everyday professional that comes home, or the home caregiver, whomever it is that comes home, drops something on the floor, picks it up from underneath the table and bumps their head. I'm talking about that individual that's been in a car accident, that maybe they hurt their leg, but they did still bump their head, and they start to change their behaviors and their patterns, where they were once very neat, then they're flustered. Where you go to the grocery store and you're trying to figure out what type of pasta sauce you're going to get. Is it Rinaldi, ragu, and you can't figure it out. Those are the things that we need to pay attention to. Those are some of the things that's explained in this book. This book can later be for that individual that's going through the concussion. But this book is about those individuals that are around the individual going through a concussion or post-concussion syndrome. The processes that occur are different for everyone. We experience things differently. We react differently. Our healing time frames are different. For me, it took a lot longer. Sometimes age plays a factor. Sometimes the severity of the injury that occurred plays a factor. How it happened. And the things that we do afterwards can also determine whether or not how fast we heal. Or sometimes there's no timetable. And sometimes there's fatalities. There's been enough. One's too many. There's been enough fatalities. Sometimes fatalities when people aren't really sure what happened. Somebody passed away in their sleep. But when you think about it, you say, wow, they bumped their head like earlier that day. And they just rubbed it and just said, oh, I'm okay. They probably weren't okay. I'm an advocate for traumatic brain injuries as a survivor and as someone that wants to see people recover. You can't recover from something that you don't know exists. You can't get better at it if you don't know what to do. There are many of us who work around colleagues and we know their patterns and their behaviors day in and day out. One day they come back from a weekend of having fun and they accidentally bump their head somewhere. But when they get back to the office, they're different to you. We can't assume that that's what happened, but they're different. Maybe they're a little flustered, headaches, computer screens hurt their eyes. These are the things that we want to pay attention to. We want to make sure that our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones are being observed in a time like that. You have one brain. One brain. That's it. And a lot of these injuries can be helped with therapies. There's concussion therapy. And I'm going to tell you, in this book, I talked about concussion therapy. I talked about, when they told me, I said, okay, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for therapy. Why? And they said, no, you're not ready. Yeah, I'm ready to get better. What do you mean I'm not ready? So the therapist asked me a few questions. They said, so if you go to the grocery store and you needed to pick out pasta sauce, are you And there's a whole different variety. There's varieties all over the place of pasta sauces. Does it take you a while to pick it out? I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. I said, yeah. I'm thinking I'm answering so that way I can go to the therapist, okay? These questions that they're asking me, we'll bring it. Yeah, takes me a while, so I need help. Yeah. Are you extremely exhausted all the time? Yeah. Okay, that's 2. I'm going to therapy. I'm ready. Those 2 questions were not the right answers. And I don't want people to say a different answer so they can go to therapy. But I'm going to tell you, when I went to therapy, when they finally felt that I was ready, I was exhausted. Okay? In this book, I talked about some of the things that I had to do. And when you're experiencing a concussion, a lot of the symptoms are fatigue, dizzy, headaches, sensitivity to light, nauseous, insomnia, anxiety. There's a variety of different feelings. Everyone's different. Some people don't have any type of symptoms whatsoever, and they're fine the next day. Some of us take longer. Some of us took maybe months and maybe even longer than that. Again, this is your brain. You don't know how long it's going to take for you to recover, and you don't know how long it's going to take for you to rebuild your regular cognitive skills. I was looking for that one page that talked about this therapist asking me these questions. Okay. So here I am. I'm sitting in the therapy office and, I'm ready. I'm good. I want you to know, like, my brain is fine. Like, I'm good. I'm going to pass this. Therapy is going to be great. And she told me to just relax. So, okay, relax. I sat at this table and I just said, you know what, before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself so that way you know where I'm coming from. I just recently graduated my executive MBA from Fox Temple School of Business. I'm an AVP in finance. I'm a writer. I'm a mother. I'm very active. I'm lining it all up. I'm letting her know, like, look, you're not dealing with just anybody here. I'm very educated. I'm ready. This chick says to me, all right, I need you to say these 5 things. I want you to remember them and say them. Apple, orange, banana, hot dog, lion. Go. What did I just say? Apple, orange, banana, hot dog, lion. I'm not even sure if I said that right. I think I did. But she asked me to repeat it nonetheless. And I couldn't. I said hot dog, apple, Leo. I'm a Leo, born in August. No, that wasn't it. Okay. All right, let's try something else, she said. Okay. And I'm telling you, I'm still sitting up straight. I'm good. I'm ready to go. All right. Name me 5 states. 5 states. We got Pennsylvania, sitting there. Like, wait a minute. I know 5 states. You see, I got so worked up. The things that we normally know, I started to forget. There was something happening up here. Something that had happened up here. And it affected me, and I started to feel upset. Because I know 5 states. Just to prove it to you, okay? I'm gonna prove it to you, okay? States. We got Pennsylvania. We got Delaware. I'm gonna just go right here, okay? We got Washington. We got New York. We got Virginia. I mean, I'm just going right here in this little small circle, okay? I know geography. I know it then. But I didn't know it then. So, whew. Now we talk about this therapy session getting a little tough here. They playing on playing with my emotions, you know. So, next thing. All right, we're gonna forget that. Let's do something else. So she passes me a piece of paper, and then there's basically some information and things I have to fill in, circle, you know. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Filling the information in, it's just questions, you know. Some rhyming things, things I had to say out loud, but there were tangible items, as well as her questions that, I'm gonna tell you the truth, it kicked my butt. I'm laying literally now, and she says, okay, we're gonna take a break. I said, well, take a break for what? And she says, don't move. I want you to observe, look around. I want you to observe what your body is doing. So you know, there's a table. This is me. I was exhausted. She said, let's take a break. I hadn't even noticed I was stretched out on that table. I was stretched out. I was exhausted. These tests kicked my butt. And she said, the reason why you weren't ready before was because your brain is trying to reset itself. And sometimes people's brains aren't able to reset by themselves. Sometimes they need some help. Rebuilding cognitive skill sets, sometimes it can be anything from coloring in the lines. It can be playing a Sudoku game. It can be, you know, maybe even doing some things with the family, some memory games, and actually forcing yourself to try to remember something. So just like how I said, apple, orange, banana, what was that one? Hot dog, lion. Or was it lion and hot dog? I don't know, maybe I need some more work. But there are different games and things you can do to help work on your memory. But my friends, they always say, wow, you got, man, you remember that? You got a great memory. Yeah, I remember, you know, and sometimes it's not so great. But sometimes you have to jot things down until you rebuild those cognitive skill sets. And sometimes it takes a village. individuals around you to observe you, to see. Like, I've had colleagues that have expressed that they were someone that they knew that maybe they believe has suffered from a concussion. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is go and get it checked out. MRIs, CAT scans. CAT scans are one form to find out a certain aspect of what's happening in the brain and head. But the MRIs pick up another aspect. But your symptoms alone is enough to say, hey, go get it checked out. Family members, friends, I'm asking you. Colleagues, I am asking you to pay a little bit more attention. You know your colleagues, you know your employees, employers, you know your employees, you know their demeanors, their normalities. And when you see things change, something might have happened. So we want to just make sure that we're paying attention to those of us, or those around us, and look out for them. It's only the best thing to do ever. Only the best thing ever. So I wanted to thank you for just taking some time and sitting with me. And as we later talk, I wanted to share with you a gentleman that is a good friend of mine. And he's from across the pond. His name is Mutitu Nyati. And he is an author, a well-known, just genius. He's a genius in the space of business. I'm very glad to have met him, and we still stay in contact today. I will be interviewing him soon, and I would love for you to tune in. If you haven't and would like to follow us and subscribe, please do so at www.thefranzexperience.life, where we believe you are bumped on course. I'm Franz, your host. Cheers.